Well, if this ain't Bad Bitch Central, I am so excited to have you on today.
I'm pumped to be here.
To be able to isolate the only female of the Death Riders, get a little one-on-one with you. What is it like being the lone woman of this insane group with insane weirdos?
I mean, I grew up with brothers, and I just kind of, the only thing I can relate it to is just I get to work with my brothers who have my back, who want me to grow, and they want me to learn and just evolve as a wrestler, as a person. They care, and it's kind of, it feels very family associated.
Yeah.
And I really am enjoying that because that's just what I'm about.
I have so many different directions to go with this, but I mean, looking at the year that you've had and the evolution of Marina Shafir, to think of the matches that you were having, the position that you were in, to where you're at now, this has been like, what a leap for you. How's it been for you to kind of like adjust to where you're at now?
Challenging, fucking crazy, just fucking crazy. I've never really was afraid to try and fail, and to have the guts to just try and fail over and over and over again, especially in this business. I don't know. It's been wild because like everything is embrace it all, just embrace the bumps, the wins. It's all the same. Being able to keep your composure through the positives and the negatives and still be present. I mean, I can't even really talk about it right now because I'm still very much in it all the time.
Yeah.
So right now, in this current state, it's just, I get the luxury of being myself with my brothers, and I get to grow and evolve, and I know that's a luxury.
What has been sort of like the big factor to make that switch to where you're at now, wrestling former AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm, to being in these like main event situations, seeing you in Blood and Guts, to see you in all these different big spotlight moments? What has been kind of the switch for you to be able to hang?
I just needed to remind myself that I always could.
Yeah.
The only thing I have to relate to this is my MMA and judo journey, and I handled all the practices. I handled all the sparring. I was first one in, last one out. Those were habits that I created like a long time ago. Those are muscles that I've been flexing. Like if I wasn't doing this, I'd be working really hard at something else.
Yeah.
And that muscle memory just kind of transferred over, and now I'm around people who, if I'm having a hard time reminding myself, they remind me, and then I am able to like stand on my own 2 feet and know who the fuck I am every fucking week, multiple times a week, and that's just muscle memory.
Is that something that you think kind of drew you to the Death Riders and kind of one of the core pieces of what the Death Riders is about, that work ethic?
I think so. I think when I first came to AEW, the Black Bull Combat Club was very appealing to me. Yeah. But on the, hierarchy of things, I was very low on the list. So I saw this group of people, and they were just being authentically who they wanted to be. There was no overproduction of anything. Yeah. And it was just them policing themselves, and I wanted to do that for myself. I wanted to not come to work and feel like I had to give up my soul. Yeah. It was more of like, what can I give from me and add to this, make this better? What do you need from me? Being selfless and being consistently selfless. Yeah. That's the shit. That's the shit that I think drew me and into that. And like I always go back to that one meeting, all of the top guys just saying like, hey, if you need help, just come to us.
Is that how it all kind of started?
Pretty much, yeah. I just didn't want to turn into something that I wasn't, because then that's just, it's a flash in the pan, and I'm not a flash in the pan. I'm not that kind of gal. I've never been that kind of fucking gal, and that's just where it all started. I asked for help. I just needed feedback, and that's kind of where it's like feedback that I could really resonate with, not like you're trying to hit a mark.
Right.
Like where are you now, and like what are the steps of growth from there?
So how has it been for you to your point of like you didn't want to just change who you are. You needed to stay true to who you are, which is not always an easy thing to do, but especially stylistically. You look at the way, a majority of the rest of the roster is professional wrestling. Your background is different from that, and you stayed so true to that with who you are in the ring. What are some of the ups and downs that you've had of kind of sticking to your guns on that instead of doing the alternative?
I'm not a flashy, flippy toy. I'm a fucking G.I. Jane fucking character. I
don't think you're a G.I. Jane character. I think you are like, that is who you are. It's not a character.
I appreciate it. I'm just very different from the rest of the roster, and I needed to understand that that was special in itself, and just learning how to fortify that and not, just completely go left and start doing shit that I'm not good at. I'm good at fucking people up. I'm just good at fucking people up. I'm good at standing my fucking ground, and I want to draw, I've always wanted to draw something out of the women that was feral and messy and dirty, and I feel like that is my purpose here.
Yeah. What about working with Megan Bane? How did this kind of come together, this teaming that I don't think any of us thought of you guys being together, and then we were gifted this magical union?
Yeah, I met her when she first came to AEW, really quiet, but she was this beautiful big bitch and so athletic, and she just wants to get better. She's a hard worker. She's just always trying to get better.
She works her ass off.
She works her fucking ass off, and I very much respect and appreciate that. So when the opportunity came, I was like, sign me up to this side quest. Yeah. I will let me be her fucking little playmate with this. I very much enjoy working with her. It was a gift, and she's her own entity in her own little world, and I love it.
Yeah. She is. It's fun watching her, and again, you see someone be able to evolve before our very eyes. That is one of the really cool things here at AEW is we get certain versions of people, and then we're offered this growth.
Yeah.
There's no one telling us, no, you can't do this, or it's really cool to see when something works like that as well. It's really.
She's authentic in her own right, and I think it just works. I'm not trying to change her. She's not trying to change me.
Yeah.
We're just trying to meet in the middle and bitches up.
You were talking about how you kind of had that work ethic built into you from an early age. Where does that come from? Because you are pretty rigid in how your work ethic is.
My dad was like my strength and conditioning coach since I was 8, 9 years old.
What was your dad's background?
My dad was in the military. He was a professional power lifter. He was in the special.
So he could be hitting those Bulgarians, no problem.
No problem. And he would laugh. He would laugh at me if I told him it was 120. He's like, really?
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, you guys missed it off camera. We were talking about doing Bulgarian squats because they're absolutely terrible.
Thank you, Jesse.
She is hitting them at 120 pounds. That's insane. But your dad doesn't care. Your dad would just laugh at you.
Yeah, my dad was always just reminding me that there's a capacity for more, and I think that's what also resonates with the group is just building the capacity to just do a little bit more.
Yeah, push yourselves a little bit further.
Yeah, and then you push it, and it either works or it doesn't, and that's okay. Going with it anyway.
You moved to the U.S. at 5. Mm-hmm. What do you remember from that, and how much do you think of being born in Moldova is still in you?
A lot. What I remember from that was my mom at, 43 coming here with 3 kids, but my oldest brother ran away.
How old was he?
I think 17, 18.
Okay.
And she was just stressed out. I remember my mom turning white, like her hair turned like white, pretty much like white. She was just so stressed out. And we came over here with the help of like a local synagogue. We came over as refugees because my grandma, my dad's mom was sick. And I just remember a lot of like fear-based stress, just survival mode.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Yeah.
So like to be sitting here with you is kind of fucking wild.
Right.
Because like, I talk to my mom almost every day, and it's just even talking to her, you're reminded of like what could have,
Yeah.
and it just,
there could have been a way alternate story.
yeah. Yeah.
And for her to come over here with 2 kids, because your older brother did not come over initially, right?
Yeah.
What happened? She left him a plane ticket and said, we'll see you there?
Pretty much, she went to our neighbor and she said, I don't know where the fucking art is, but if he shows up, here's his passport, here's a ticket. And then I think like 6 to 8 months later, we get a phone call, and then he finally flew over. I just remember my parents just being very mad at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine as a mother going through that?
I look at Troy every day and I'm like, don't you fucking think about it. I will fucking find you and you will not enjoy what comes next. Yeah.
Okay, so you're over here at 5. You guys moved to New York. When did fighting in judo start to enter the picture for you?
When I was 6.
Okay.
It was $20 a month. The judo school was like 15 minutes away from our house, and it just kept me and my cousins busy. Like, we were just really active kids, and that's kind of like where it started.
Your brothers were fighters too?
My middle brother played soccer. He was more of like the book nerd, and my middle brother's really fucking smart. Like, he's just got the book smarts. And my oldest brother, I think because he was a rebel in his own right, I drew inspiration from him.
Yeah.
When he finally did come here, like the apartment that we lived at, it was like a 3-story building. We were on the 2nd, and on our balcony, he hung a fucking heavy bag. He would get his little Walkman, and we lived behind a golf course, and he would go out and run 5 miles, hit the bag. He would,
Yeah.
He's the guy that I'd be like watching him do knuckle push-ups on bricks, then hit the bag. Like, he was my Rocky.
Yeah.
Like, and him and my dad were they were in their own lane when it came to that. Like, my dad always trained, my brother always trained, and I don't know, you felt some good energy. Like, they came back and they were good energy, good spreadable energy from that. Yeah. Just being able to defend yourself is a good feeling.
Yes. Yeah. God, I wish I could defend myself.
But also my mom would get into fights in school all the time with boys because they would cross boundaries. She would get kicked out of school all the time.
What does your mom think of all this?
I just hope she's proud.
Yeah.
I know it's wild. It's crazy. She doesn't want me to be away from my son.
Yeah.
Because she was away from her son for so long. But I hope she's just proud. She gets a kick out of it every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you juggle all of these things from being on the road here? You still go out and work independence. Like, you are getting in the reps any place that you can, but you are still mom.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. Like, it is a lot to do. This job is taxing no matter what you're doing. Yeah. But I think the pull of being a mother as well is something that's going to be able to fuel a different fire in you. But do you have a key to how you make it work?
Just kind of fuck it and show up. Like, you just don't ever, I didn't know what to expect. It's kind of hard to like plan 2 to 3 weeks out. So I don't know how I do it. Sometimes I think I'm failing all the time.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I think that's motherhood.
Yeah. And like, come home and my son is like, do you really have to go? And I'm like, I do. And, it's all for you. Yeah. And even that, it just fucking just boils my blood a little bit. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make me sad. It just like revs me up.
Yeah, which can be useful.
Yes.
Given your
cortisol levels are all over the place.
Love a good cortisol imbalance.
Oh,
really into it. Okay, so you're part of the Death Riders, only woman of the Death Riders. What has been sort of the MO for you guys? I mean, when you guys obviously spend a lot of time together. You guys talk to each other all the time. You guys have been growing and developing together. But from you to Wheeler, Claudio, John, Gabe, I mean, looking at all these guys, what is the one commonality you think you guys all kind of come back to?
They're always chasing growth, and they're not afraid to learn.
Yeah.
And I just have so much respect for that, because you have to have the balls to try.
Yeah.
And then you have to have the balls to know who you are. And then you have to just give it a shot. I think our mission is growth, and amongst each other, which resonates in the locker rooms. Mm-hmm. And I think that's way more powerful than a lot of other bullshit going on.
Yeah. The pre-match slaps. Why did you guys start doing this? What gets you like in the zone? Because I see these and I'm like, damn, is this a good idea?
I don't necessarily know where, but you know, my MMA coach, Josh Barnett, before any grappling match, fight, blood sport, you know, he's in the back and kind of have like a face off, and I you know, just eye to eye, and it's like you just have to fucking lock in. Nothing before matters, nothing after is gonna matter. Like right here, you gotta make a decision to either be there or you're not, and it's just a little fucking whop, whop, and then you're off we go. I think the last blood sport that I did, where I wrestled Jody Threat, I think Mox saw that, maybe, I don't know, and it was just kind of like, oh,
Is that where a lot of this started, was through Josh? I mean, you have your relationship with Josh. Mm-hmm. John has his relationship with Josh, and then also the blood sport stuff. Is that where it all kind of overlapped initially?
I think that definitely helped thread it all through and together.
Yeah.
The first match I sent John was my match with Masha from Bloodsport, my very first one.
Yeah. Because,
you know, I had just gotten released from the Fed, and I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. All I knew was that I had a mortgage to pay, I had to fucking hustle, my son deserves the best education, and I need to fortify myself and like establish myself, and that's what I did on that show, and I'm forever grateful for Josh, because I think, I think that was like the relating factor.
Yeah, I mean, I remember John talking about that and him talking about you and seeing, it's like, damn, look at her go. I mean, obviously he had been around Ronda before in WWE and around Shayna and stuff, but for him to be able to like see this thing in you, and then you guys to blow it up into what it is now, but for you to step out of the Death Riders and have your solo missions, these matches that you've been having have been incredible. How does it feel when you're going out there by yourself?
I don't really feel alone. It just feels like I just get to be feral, and I get to be like just authentically me, and it's freeing, a little scary, but more exciting than scary. And I don't know, I've just been able to like, it's more of a grounding thing for me. It's kind of almost don't want to give it up. Like, you know, like it's just, everybody's got their own. And for me, I'm starting to get closer and closer to freedom. Like the more, not even, it's like off the leash type of thing. You know, like I love my relation to the group. But when I get to go out there on my own, it's like we get to test some things we've been working on. Mm-hmm. We get, you know.
got a hell of a precise kick, girl.
Yeah, I sure do.
Yeah.